The Utah High School Activities Association joins with their sponsors, Mountain America Credit Union, Jerry West, Wilson, the Shortstop, McDonald's, and the WSA in welcoming you to the 2A and 3A state softball championship games. The USSA would like to thank everyone that has made this tournament a tremendous success, starting with our school umpires under the direction of our umpire chief, Russ Carter, and our coaches, announcers, gatekeepers, and concessions crew. Special thanks is done for softball complex facility director Tracy Wiley for hosting the tournament, and ground supervisor Cameron Heath and his crew for the incredible job they do to play the goals of day. Successful teamwork, and these teams appreciate the support they have received from their parents, families, administration, student bodies, spectators, and fans. Throughout the youth championship game, two examples of good sportsmanship demonstrating respect for the players, coaches, and officials. As so many, we will show you positive support for the mission of education-based athletics in the South. At this time, let's welcome onto the field the two teams that will be competing in today's 2A state championship. From the Duchesne Eagles. The Utah High School Activities Association would like to recognize the seniors on all teams by having them take a step forward. Seniors, please take a step forward, raise your hands so we can give you a round of applause. Thank you, seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as we pause to honor American and most valiant men and women who fight to protect our freedom as we enjoy the game today with the playing of our national anthem. Number 14, Emily Hughes. Number 19, Larson. Number 20, Julie Farnsworth. Number 22, Marissa Maurer. Number 33, Tara Grant. And number 24, Kelsey Grant. And then, number 16, Honey Hamburg. Principal for Duchesne, Darren Valmerum. Head coach, Kyle Grant. Assistant coaches, Shavy Green, Jesse Farnsworth, and Jocelyn Farnsworth. Athletic director, Sarah Childerson. And their wonderful managers, Morgan Newell and Bretman Newell. The Duchesne Eagles. Now the designated home team, the Enterprise Wolves. Starting off on today, number 1, Jordan Day. Number 4, Sophie Nelson. Number 8, Eva Christensen. Number 9, Kennedy Drake. Number 11, Taylor Pratt. Number 13, Deanna Jones. Number 15, Kimberly Redder. Number 16, Kimberly Bundy. Number 18, Emery Staley. Number 19, McKinley Hunt. Number 20, Taryn Rupp. Number 21, Marty Platt. Number 23, Sarah Lee Hernandez. Number 24, McKenna Jolly. Number 25, Kristen Jolly. Number 28, Allison Adams. And for the stars today, number 2, Rebecca Hess. Number 5, Amy Hunt. Number 6, Wendy Christian Jensen. Number 7, Lindsay Drake. Number 10, Addison Nelson. Number 12, Kyla Humphrey. Number 14, Casey Terry. Number 17, Hannah Christensen. Number 22, Brooke Humphrey. And the honor managers, Bailey Staley and Nancy Platt. Head coach, Kitty Jones. Assistant coach, Stella Gilman, Amanda Jones, and Kitty Christensen. Supervisor on the side, Calvin Hope. Athletic director, Warren Richards. The outdoor this championship team are Bob Coleman, Mark Clausen, and Don Oswald. Congratulations to our team. Now let's get three players and coaches if you guys can step forward. For the designated visitors, North Santa Fe Hawks. For our non-starters today, number 1, Katie Johnson. Number 5, Ava Silverman. Number 8, Justin Larson. Number 10, Ashley Bagshaw. Number 12, Olivia Madsen. Number 13, Peyton Johnson. Number 15, Freeland Bailey. Number 16, Shane Robinson. Number 17, Brittany Snow. Number 18, Katie Robinson. Number 20, Autumn Oldroyd. Number 23, Miley Cook. Number 27, Amy Hardy. Number 28, Katie Cheney. And our stars today, number 3, Bree Allred. Number 4, Emily Strait. Number 5, Valentina Ramonde. Number 9, Indigo North. Number 11, Katie Cook. Number 14, Caitlin Dawson. Number 19, Dally Bailey. Number 22, Lucy Oldroyd. Number 25, Madison Stedman. And manager Shady Gilman and Seth Howard. Head coach Stanley Bailey. Assistant coaches Rich Jones, Steph Flynn, and Keith Anderson. Principal George Stampede, Christine Stratton. Athletic director Cheryl Happy and Tyler Bailey. North Stampede Hawks. Now let's introduce the home team, the Brownsville Cowboys. The non-starting team, number 11, Lynn White. Number 14, Elise Smith. Number 13, Riley Youngberg. Number 16, Keegan Russell. Number 20, Olivia Fernandez. Number 17, Kira Hart. Number 18, Lynn Bytheway. Number 24, Peyton Bytheway. Number 28, Olivia Bowman. forward, assistant coaches Blake Stridfellow, Tori Brooks, Sean Allen, and Matt Beacom. The principal lieutenant Egon, athletic and Scott Mortensen. The Brownsville Cowboys. The umpires in this championship team are Robin Peterson, Randall Burgess, and John Rachel. You guys, let's play ball!
Good afternoon and welcome. It's time for the 2A state championship between the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagles. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, we're glad to have you along as on championship Saturday, and a lot of fun, Pepper. And this is deja vu for us.
It is. I mean, exact same situation as Enterprise and Duchesne found themselves in last year. So Enterprise with coming in undefeated on a pretty big win yesterday in the semifinals over Duchesne. Duchesne down 1, so they did it last year. Can they do it again?
Let's talk a little bit about what happened last night. These two teams faced off, and really it was Duchesne leading all the way to the end.
And I think, was it 5th or 6th inning? I can't remember. And then the 6th inning, and then Enterprise, their bats got a little bit hot, and they were able to score some runs. And then Enterprise is the home team down by, they tied it up in the bottom of the 7th. And then on a pretty gutsy move, Coach Grant juices the bases with 2 outs, but a base hit scored the winning run. Not after some controversy, after maybe an interference with the base runner at shortstop. But regardless, Enterprise picked up the win, and now they're looking to get their first state championship since 2021.
Since 2021. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the Duchesne Eagles. 26-6 on the season. In the last 10, 9-1. So their only loss was yesterday to Enterprise. And then they beat Parowan 4-2 also. So Duchesne, that number 2 in the RPI. Last year they were number 1 in the RPI, and this year number 2.
Well, and their last at-bats is what got Duchesne, that's what propelled them into the second game. So there's definitely no. I don't remember.
The last time these
doesn't matter.
No, the last 3 times these two teams played, it has been a 1-run game each time. Last night, what was it? 6-5, 5-4. And the year before, it was 5-2 in the first time that Enterprise beat Duchesne, and then it was 2-1 and 5-4.
Wow.
So, these last 3 have been 1-run ball games. So these two teams evenly matched. They brought everybody back, both teams, and so now we get to see that today again.
Yeah, and it's I think each team maybe lost 2 or 3 girls from last year's. And I would say both teams, these are like championship teams because they play so competitively with each other. So it's like you said, deja vu.
Now let's look at the Enterprise Wolves, 26-6 also on the season. Championships in 2021, 2019. Of course, there was no champion in 2020. Here's an interesting stat. They took second place in 22, 18, 16, 13. So what that means in the last 10 years, they played for state 6 times. So the Enterprise has established a dominant tradition in softball.
Well, and we talked about this yesterday. It's like you almost expect to see Enterprise in the championship game. They are just that good and have been that good for a very long time.
In the last 10, Enterprise is 9-1. They're only lost to, I think it's 6A Sky Ridge. So that's the only loss. And so these two teams both on a roll, 9-1 in their last 10. And we look forward to a really great game coming up. Just a reminder, you're watching State Softball on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, partnership with KSL Sports. And Pepper, run through our sponsor list if you don't mind. These are the people that help make it possible to show these games on TeamHive.live.
So we've got Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers, Utah Community Credit Union, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, San Pete Steel and Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Beaver Medical Clinic, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Barney Trucking, Honey's Marketplace in Kanab, and Jones and DeMille Engineering. So those will do it for our sponsors. And like you mentioned, we couldn't do what we do without our sponsors to be able to, broadcast the games, and so tons of appreciation and support to our sponsors.
Yeah, I know, a big thanks. Now let's talk about this game once again. Duchesne Eagles, normally when you say you've got a team coming through the one-loss category, you say, it's a tall task. But we've seen it happen. That happened last year as the defending state champs. came through the one-loss category. They'll have to do the same thing today, and the real question is, can Kelsey Grant pitch another 2 games? She did last year. Can she do it again?
And that's that. Ugh. It's hard, and the fundamentals of pitching are that the mechanics are not nearly as bad as an overhand, but it takes a lot of effort and exertion. And so I was actually a little surprised to see Grant on the mound against Parowan. I thought maybe they'd bring in somebody else, but they didn't. Maybe that's just what she needs to warm up. And then on the other side with Enterprise, you got Blakely Christiansen, and these 2 pitchers faced off last year, sophomores and juniors. Now Christiansen, a junior, Grant, a senior, and so these 2 teams may not have played each other during the season, but they're very familiar with each other. And after playing again yesterday, there's a lot at stake in this first game.
Also 2 great catchers in this matchup.
Lexi Moreland for Duchesne and Haley Drake for Enterprise. The pitching-catching combination for both these 2 teams is absolutely stellar.
Certainly is. Here we go. We're ready for the top of the first in our state championship game between the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagles.
Leading off for the Duchesne Eagles is the freshman shortstop, Kira Grant. Kira Grant comes on the season with a .454 batting average, 23 RBIs, 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs.
Here we go. First pitch is away, and a strike 1.
Beautiful pitch by Christiansen, just right down the middle.
So 0-1 the count for the freshman, Kira Grant. Here's the pitch. Just missed high and out. Ball 1-1.
Great crowd here today from both schools,
yeah.
the Enterprise and Duchesne faithful, and just a lot of fun, a lot of excitement in the air.
Certainly is. Here's the second pitch, and that one's going to be hit down, and that will be a base hit. Leadoff base hit for Kira Grant.
Addie Nelson, the shortstop for Enterprise, a valiant effort trying to dive and save that ball from going to the outfield, but nice hard hit, leadoff batter on base for Duchesne.
So the first hit of the game goes to the Duchesne Eagles. Now Jaylee Farnsworth, the center fielder, wearing number 20.
Farnsworth had a 200 batting average this season.
And she will put down a bunt, but that one will go foul, so strike 1.
That's unfortunate for Enterprise, as Drake, it just bounced right into her mitt. So fortunate for Duchesne.
On the 3A classification, it's Grantsville and North St. Pete playing on field number 1. Grantsville defeated North St. Pete 3-0 yesterday. So North St. Pete, in similar situations to Duchesne, they will have to win 2 games in order to take the championship. The Cinderella story of Manti came to an end. We'll talk about that. Ball 1.
Yeah.
Manti has won a record 11 state championships in softball, and they were a 12 seed.
They were a new coach, but they came up, defeated the number 2 seed, and made it all the way to the second semifinal game.
Here's a hit, and that one's popped up in the infield, and there's a collision.
Ooh.
The third baseman catches over her shoulder, and a little bit of confusion, but no harm done as Enterprise records out number 1.
Yeah, Brooke Humphreys just went back for the snag on that one. Could have been bad for Enterprise, but she was able to keep it in her glove for out number 1.
Kelsey Grant, the pitcher for Duchesne, steps in. Again, runner on first, sister Kira Grant. She'll turn to bunt, back inside, and gets there easily. Thinks about third, but doesn't go on the overthrow. So Grant advances to scoring position. First stolen base.
Hallie Christensen in the outfield in the center to prevent an additional stolen base by Grant.
So Kelsey Grant 1-0 on the count. Pitches in and strike. Catches that outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
The range of both of these pitchers, Christiansen and Grant, is huge, and they're able to hit their spots very, very well. And we've seen all tournament long, they've been pretty consistent in hitting that outside corner.
1-1 the count on Grant. There's the pitch, and going to be hit. Base hit for Grant as well, and that will put runners on the corners for the Duchesne Eagles.
Solid hit by Grant. She really struggled in the game earlier today against Parowan, and so able to get the bat on the ball and get a single her first at bat here against Enterprise.
So already 2 hits for the Duchesne Eagles, and I don't think there were a whole lot of hits in the Parowan game for Duchesne or Parowan.
There were not. Parowan led off with a home run with their leading batter, and I think they only recorded 4 hits for Parowan. I think maybe 5 or 6 for Duchesne.
Okay, here we go. Next up is Lexi Moreland, the catcher. She'll square to bunt, then pull back, and a stolen base for Kelsey Grant.
Ooh, Kelsey. I don't know if she's trying to bait her or what, but she just kind of trotted to second base. She made it there safely, but...
Yeah, I think she was doing a little see if she'll throw it down.
Coach Kyle Grant, Dad Grant, he's get to the base.
Here we go. 1-0 the count. Up and out. Ball. 2-0. Here's Moreland. 2-0 count. There's a strike and hit up. Pop fly. Going to be out into left field. And that one will be caught and holds the runner at third. So one down.
You know, the smart play of Enterprise in the field is some of the best I've seen in a very long time. They really know how to think like one play ahead. We saw that in the game with them yesterday. And even there, you could see every player waiting for that pop fly, ready for the relay in to try to prevent the run.
Next batter's left fielder, Larissa Maurer, number 22. Catches that outside corner, strike one. There's two down, runners on second and third. Can Duchesne score in the top of the first? Golden opportunity. It is up and going to be caught by the center fielder. A little bit of a miscalculation, but she gets it back. She did, and that's a huge break for Enterprise as they are able to hold Duchesne as they have two base runners on in scoring position. So that'll do it for the top of one. 2 hits, no runs, with 2 left on. We'll be back with the bottom of the second after this on TeamHive.live in partnership with KSL Sports, all powered by Centricom.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday health.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care. Closer to home.
Stats. Oh, they don't have stats anyway.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, bottom of the first. As Enterprise Wolves dodge a bullet on the 2 singles by the Grant sisters, Kira and Kelsey. And Duchesne strands runners on second and third.
They did, and a huge break for Enterprise. And now they're going to see what they can do as they get their first at-bat. And with the advantage, batting last is the home team. So playing second base for the Enterprise Wolves, Kyla Humphreys will lead off, wearing number 12. Humphreys had a huge home run yesterday, which I think her home run's what tied him up. It was. So leadoff batter able to smash it over the fence. But every one of these rolls for both teams, from batters 1 through 9, are super solid. There's no mistake why these two teams are playing in this game. Kelsey Grant steps to the rubber, and here we go. Bottom of the first, no score. Pitch is going to be hit off to the shortstop. Going to be a tough one, and that's going to be an infield single. Wow. By Kyla Humphreys. So both teams lead off with a single. Did you see the speed from Humphreys? Yeah. Wow. That's why it was a single. She easily outran that throw. Even, it was an errant throw, but wow, she was fast. It was an errant throw because she's going so fast. That was the only chance she had, and honestly, never had a chance. No. Haley Drake now up for the Enterprise Wolves. We'll see if they steal Humphreys. Moreland, a great catcher for Duchesne. Pitches out, and strike one. Yeah, Moreland, both Moreland and Drake for both these teams behind the plate. They sit there and they hold it like, just try me. See if I can pick you off. 0-1 the count for Drake. Pitches up, the bunt is down, and going to be a sacrifice as she moves the runner to second base. Number 2, Chesney Farnsworth, first baseman for Duchesne, fires it to second, trying to pick off Humphreys. Unable to, but you can see that the base runners are going to be very, very careful and aware.
They are.
On the bases.
No one's afraid to throw the ball with these two teams. Next up will be Daisy Terry, the left fielder. Runner in scoring position is Humphreys. One down. Pitch is looking for a corner, just misses. Ball one.
Now, if she can pull a deep hit into right field from the left side of the box, it could likely score Humphreys.
Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-1 the count for Daisy Terry.
Grant able to hit that outside corner and get her to chase it. Nice pitch and placement by the pitcher, Kelsey Grant.
Here's the pitch by Grant. Outside, just misses. Ball two, same as the first pitch. Grant trying not to give Terry anything to hit.
On deck, number 19, Donnie Bailey, and home number 7, Tyler Joe.
And here's a swing and a miss. That will be strike two. 2-2, the count even.
That was a great pitch by Grant, and she's definitely keeping Nelson guessing every pitch she throws.
2-2 count to Terry. And a swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Kelsey Grant.
She goes down swinging. Now 2 outs. And cleanup batter. No, are we at Nelson? Oh, yep, we're at Nelson. Sorry, before it was Daisy Terry. So now Addie Nelson at the plate. Cleanup batter for Enterprise.
Nelson steps up, the shortstop for Enterprise. And she'll hit a shot down the left field line, and it is foul. She knew it. She didn't even move.
Duchesne breathed a sigh of relief because that would have easily scored Humphreys. Nice shot by Nelson.
So 0-1 the count for Nelson. Nelson a super shortstop for this Enterprise team.
Almost hit her really inside.
Yeah, ball 1-1. Just a junior, Nelson.
Only 3 seniors on this Enterprise team. Rebecca Hess, Haley Drake, and Macy Hunt.
There's a base hit. That could score a run for the Enterprise Wolves, and it does. An RBI for Addie Nelson.
Just a solid hit into left field. And, you know, that's how you get... I don't know. People want to get the runs on the big hits, but it's hits like that just really accumulate. So nice hit by Nelson to score 1 for Enterprise.
Yeah, the shortstop got a glove on it, Grant, but just hit too sharply on that left side of the diamond. Pitches up, ball 1.
2 down for Duchesne.
Enterprise scores first. 1-0 with Nelson on first. We'll see if they test Moreland. Pitches up, fouled off. 1-1.
Christy Hansen, very solid from the box yesterday. Watching her against Duchesne, I think she got a hit almost every time at bat. We don't have any statistics for Enterprise, so sorry that we don't have batting averages or anything. Nothing in Max Preps.
There's a hit on the right side. Now it will go through the legs of the second baseman. Nelson's going to go to third. Runners at the corners on the error.
And again, a costly error by Duchesne. You could see that she just picked her, and that's Chesney Farnsworth. She just she knew where she wanted to go. She picked her glove up a split second too late. Too soon.
Well, the speed, I think, really caused a problem there. She was trying to get it out of the glove quickly over to first, but didn't quite make the grab.
Kinley Reber in to run for Christiansen.
So Becca Hess up, the right fielder for Enterprise.
Bit of a 2-out rally here for Enterprise, threatening to take a 2-run lead.
Pitch is outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Looks good. Strike. 1-1. That was just on the bottom of the strike zone. Nice pitch.
I didn't even see where it landed. The official is right in my way.
Grant will take the call from the sideline. Pitch comes in, looking for the corner. Got it again. That is strike 2. 1-2 the count.
Great placement by Grant and a great frame by Moreland behind the plate.
Runners on first and third. 2 down. Christensen on first. Well, speed up runner on first. Pitch is outside. Ball 2-2. Grant seeing if she can get Hess to chase one.
Hess, a senior. What, too wise to chase that one?
Yeah. Pitch is out, down in the dirt. But Moreland able to pick that one up. I think it hit the official's foot.
It did. I think he saved that from rolling back to the backstop.
So the count is full. You know, fortunate for the Duchesne Eagles, might have scored a run. You got Addie Nilsson. Here's a hit to the second baseman over. Oh, barely in time.
Got her.
Holy
wow.
cow. That was pretty quick. Hess got down there, but it's a 4-3 for 3 outs. Duchesne does allow one. Could have been worse. So after one complete inning of play, it's Duchesne 0 and Enterprise 1. We'll be back on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. It's 1-0 Enterprise as we go into the top of the second. It'll be batter 6, 7, 8, Farnsworth, Crum, and Skews. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Farnsworth batting .373 on the season. Doesn't take
Inside,
a cut at that one.
Ball 2. Good
she
eye.
thought about it.
Yes, she did.
She also has 27 RBIs on the season, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs.
Thinks about that one. Doesn't go. And it'll be a ball. So 3-0. Hitters count for Farnsworth. Christiansen doesn't end up in 3-0s very often. She nor Grant. Both great. Pitches in and strike 1. No question.
Yesterday there was a huge hole, as you could see, both second and left for each team playing very far on the sides. Not so much today.
And here's a hit up to center field. Center fielder under it and makes the grab.
So, Duchesne has got the bat on the ball almost every at-bat, but they have just, been hitting fly balls to the outfield. So I don't know if it's the way they're batting or if it's the way that Christiansen's pitching the ball, but they've definitely just got some hang time on them.
Well, you called it. 4 outs in the game. Fly to third base, left field, center field, and center field.
They're coming up and under it and giving it that height and not the distance.
Cadence Crum up to the plate. She'll swing and foul one off. Strike 1. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. So on the last batter it was 3-0. Now it's 0-2. Pitcher's count for Christiansen.
You're going to see a change-up off-speed pitch here.
You think so?
That's my prediction.
I think it's going to be an inside corner. There's pitch. High. Ball 1. We're both wrong. Neither one of us were even close.
Nope.
Obviously she didn't check with us.
No, she did not.
There's the pitch. That one's inside. Ball 2. That one nearly hit Crum.
So for those of you who didn't know that getting hit by pitch roll, you have to make at least a feeble attempt to get away from the ball to take a base.
And here's a hit out to left field, and the left fielder just tall enough to catch that one.
You know, again, like I said, Duchesne getting their bats on the balls, just they're hitting it right to Enterprise. So frustrating for Duchesne is you want to get hits and get on base, but great defense by Enterprise.
I just heard that the North Summit girls softball team watching on teamhive.live. And so a shout out to them. Now up to the plate is Amberly Skews. Strike 1.
Takes a cut at an outside pitch. She's batting .373 on the season, 21 RBIs, 6 doubles, and a triple.
There's the 1-0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Fouled it off. So again, tough count for the batter.
Skews a senior. And for Duchesne, they also only have 3 seniors. Lexi Moreland, Amberly Skews, and Kelsey Grant.
And strike 3. That'll be the first strikeout of the game for Chris Jansen. That'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. 1-0 Enterprise when we go into the bottom of the second on teamhive.live, powered by Centricom, and made possible by a partnership through KSL Sports.
This is how legends 2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. Of course, we've got the money man, Tyler Moss. Claire Hilton helping us out with Kelly as well. Kelly, what's your last name?
Terry.
Kelly Terry. And so, big crew here. And we've got Tavy Miles also spotting and keeping us straight. We can hear her be, clicking her tongue when we say something. She's like, what? I've heard it like twice on the broadcast already.
She does know a lot about softball.
She does. So for the Enterprise Wolves in the bottom of the first, they lead 1-0. It's batters 7, 8, 9. That's Humphreys, Hunt, and Christensen.
Over in 3A in the championship game, Grantsville up 1-0 over North St. Pete, bottom of the second.
So stepping in is Humphreys. Here's the pitch to Humphreys. Outside, ball 1. Just misses the corner. Again, it's a treat to watch these two teams. Very solid, top to bottom. Here's Grant. That one looks like a strike, and it's so. Strike 1. 1-1 the count.
I'm also happy that they decided to coordinate with each other to not wear the same color uniforms like yesterday.
That was a
ton of blue on the field,
yeah.
And today it's blue tops, white pants, white tops, blue pants. So thank you, teams.
That's ball up and out. Ball 2, 2-1. Little contrast does help the announcers.
I got so confused so many times yesterday.
Pitch is up and ball 3. 3-1 the count. 2 Humphreys. So hitters count. 2 Brook. So these two teams have accounted for the last 2 state championships. And there's a hit to the right side. That one's up there and going to be at the fence. It'll be a double. Stand-up double for Brooke Humphreys.
I don't know if Skews just lost that one in, is it Skews that's in right field? Yep. Yeah, Sam Skews. I don't know if she just lost that in the sun or what, but she was right there where it was at and just wasn't able to grab it. So it was a catchable ball.
Well, the distraction of the fence is a big deal.
Could have been that, too.
Right there. So
I thought it had the distance to go be a home run.
I was wondering. I knew it was close. There's a bunt, and excuses him go to third, and an infield single for the Enterprise Wolves. And Macy Hunt, beautifully done.
Some miscommunication by the Duchesne Eagles as you had pitch and the first baseman charging that bunt. Nobody covering second, and I don't even had she been a slow base runner, there was nobody there to cover.
Quick conference for Coach Grant as he wants to talk to his team. Slow it down, momentum going Enterprise's way as there's no outs, runners on the corners. And so you've got Hunt on first. I would guess we'd see a steal on this one with Humphreys on third.
No outs either.
And no outs. So our batters are going to be Christensen, 9-1-2, Humphreys, and Drake. So coming up is the meat of that Enterprise lineup. And actually, I can't even say that because I'm not sure top to bottom, the runs come from everywhere.
They do. Every girl can hit.
Both teams.
And, you can see, too, just with body language and the way the girls are playing, the Enterprise playing a lot more relaxed. It seems to have just a lot more. The pressure doesn't seem to be there. And really, the pressure is definitely on Duchesne. The defending state champions have to get a win to go into the, a second game. So Enterprise, everything going their way so far this game.
Up to the plate is Hallie Christensen, the center fielder. And you can see, we're watching the replay. There's a bunt up the left field line. Well done, and the first baseman not there. And so that'll be an error on the Duchesne Eagles as it was played well, just no one covering the bag.
But what a great snag by number 2, Chesney Farnsworth, as she reached out, had that ball gone past her. I think we would have seen two runs scored for Enterprise. So she wasn't there, but a good snag. Yeah,
big trouble for the Duchesne Eagles as the bases loaded, no outs. And Humphreys up to the plate. She hit a single in her first at bat.
And yesterday, home run.
Pitch looks good. Strike one. Nice corner for Grant.
So no outs, force out on each base. It's likely, though, unless it's hit right within the vicinity of the plate, that we're going to see a run scored for Enterprise.
Pitch is hit up and into right field, so you'll see a tag and then a run. And the play at the plate coming in, closer than you would think. And that is a score for the Enterprise Wolves and an RBI sacrifice fly for Kyla Humphreys.
Enterprise very excited. The fans on their feet. A little bit of hesitation after the catch in right field, but Enterprise able to outrun it to notch another run on the scoreboard.
So Humphreys with the score.
And now Haley Drake, the catcher for Enterprise. This girl is solid any place you put her on the field.
First pitch comes in for a strike. Runners on second and third after the sacrifice. One down. Golden opportunity for the Enterprise Wolves. One down, runner second, third. Pitch is inside. Ball one. Pitch and hit. That's a base hit. Might score two. Does score one only. Oh, no. Here's the play at the plate. And no play as that throw goes wide. A 2 RBI hit for Haley Drake.
What a shot into left field. Just a solid hit. Like you mentioned, scores two. Now, as with yesterday, Duchesne took an early 4-0 lead. And now here is Enterprise in the state championship game, bottom of the second, up 4 runs.
Yep, already with 3, only 1 down, with Drake on first. All momentum going to the Enterprise Wolves. And here's the pitch to the shortstop. Going to be picked up, catches the lead runner, and tries to get 2, but will pick up the lead runner out.
I don't know if there's something in the water down in Enterprise, but these girls have wheels on them. Every single one of them, they are so quick on the base paths.
So a fielder's choice for Daisy Terry. And that will bring up Addie Nelson, who hit a single RBI last time up. 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Nelson just pounds one up to side, left center field is up.
Oh!
And almost a catch, and that will be a home run for Addie Nilsson. Wow.
These girls came to play today. Addie Nilsson with a base runner on. It's going to be 6-0 with early here in the game. And the effort, though, by Chesney Jaylee Farnsworth was very, very valiant. She actually went over the fence trying to catch that ball, unable to. And so Enterprise definitely playing like a state champion team in this game.
And if she was able to hold on, because the ball squirts out as she lands in the outfield, and that's what allowed the home run.
Yeah. So now up to bat is the pitcher, Blakely Christiansen. They've almost batted through, haven't they?
This is batter number 8 in the inning. Still 2 outs for the Duchesne Eagles. They desperately need to get out of this one. Christiansen got on error. So 0 for 1. There's the pitch, hit right up the middle. That is a base hit for Christiansen. Another one for the Enterprise Wolves. That'll bring up Becca Hess.
Speed up runner as Kinley Redberg, comes in to run for Christiansen. And Enterprise has got on to Grant, knocking some really, just opposite of what Duchesne's doing. Duchesne's popping up. They're getting the bat on the ball, but they're popping up the pitches. Enterprise just nice, solid, hard hits on the ground. 5 hits
in the inning for the Enterprise Wolves. 6-0 our score. We're in the bottom of the second. Pitch is high, ball 1.
Moreland fires down to first, trying to get out of the inning, but unable to pick off the runner.
Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1-1. Oh, no, 2-0, my bad. Kelly shakes her head and says, no, come on. 2-0. Disgust. And that will be a ball, just misses, low. Ball 3.
It's easy to get discouraged. Duchesne could very easily get discouraged down 6-0, but really all it takes is 1 inning.
Yeah, it does.
And look what's happened here in the second for Enterprise.
There's your strike 1. So 3-1 the count for Becca Hess. Again, 2 outs were 6 for the Enterprise Wolves. No score for the Duchesne Eagles. Outside, that'll be a walk. The first one of the game, I believe. 4.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Brings up number 22, Brooke Humphreys.
Puts runners on first and second with Humphreys, who started the inning off with a double. Christiansen steps into the circle. Grant steps into the circle. Pitch is up, trying to catch the corner outside.
It almost seems like Grant is pitching with a little bit of fear, which is a little bit, you can see why after as many hits as she's had this inning and the home run, but she definitely has the ability to just, place it wherever she wants.
And here's a hit up the middle, and that one is going to be...
Wow,
snow-coned by Farnsworth. Wow.
Farnsworth gets Duchesne out of the inning, but not until a lot of damage has been done after 6.
Yeah,
after 2, 6-0.
5 runs on 5 hits. It's Enterprise 6 and Duchesne no score as we go into the 3rd inning on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Welcome back. Start top of the 3rd. First pitch is outside, ball 1. This is Cammie Larson. playing first base for Duchesne. So it's 9-1-2 for the Eagles. A little bit desperate to get some runs on the board. They're down 6-0. Foul ball, strike, 1-1.
This is her first at-bat. Excuse me. Larson with a .348 batting average on the season.
I'm sure between innings, Coach Grant said, stop, let's just get some runs back and get our way into this. Strike 2.
Christiansen fires a beautiful inside pitch in.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we had Enterprise yesterday down to Duchesne and just slowly inched their way back in and won in the end. Fouled off, count remains 1-2.
Well, I mean, it's very early on in the game still, 3-0, and it's not. This game is still very, very winnable for Duchesne, but we've talked about this a lot. Like the mental strength and the mental game too plays a big part.
Certainly does. Here's a hit to right field, right to the right fielder. That's out number 1.
I don't know. Is it Christiansen's the way she's pitching or what? But or the way Duchesne's hitting, but they are just getting under all of the pitches and just popping them into the outfield.
I don't have pitching stats for Christiansen either. No stats on Max Preps, but her ERA, I would guess, would be similar to Grant's at the 1.5. Pitches in and up, ball 1. Grant is 1 for 1 with a single to lead off the game. Pitch is going to be hit to the shortstop, over for the out.
Great fielding by Addie Nilsson. Calmly throws it across to get out number 2.
Yep, that'll bring up Jaylee Farnsworth, the center fielder for Duchesne, wearing number 20. She is 0 for 1 as she flew out to the third baseman at her first at bat. There's a hit to the right side, popped up, right fielder there again, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 for the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagles as two flyouts to right field and a shortstop play to first. Going in the bottom of the third, it's 6-0 Enterprise in the 2A state championship game on TeamHive.live.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. 6-0 Enterprise. We're going to the bottom of the third. Enterprise can add to their lead. And Enterprise has been fantastic early on from the sticks. They already have 7 hits in the game as compared to 2 for Duchesne. And Duchesne had that opportunity in the first inning with runners on second and third, 1 out. With the 2 hits by Kira and Kelsey Grant, but after that, it's been a fly ball fest for the Duchesne Eagles.
It is, and again, like I've said several times, they're getting the bat on the ball, but just not getting anything to get on base with.
Macy Hunt will step into the box. She hit a single in her last at bat, a beautiful bunt actually, and she'll square and look like she's going to bunt again. Turns and faces, ball 1. Grant will take her time. 5-0 Grantsville over North Sanpete on the other diamond. Strike 1. Grantsville looking to retake the championship after the defending champ Manti eliminated earlier today. Hunt squares. Now we'll go back. Ball 2-1.
That's another, kind of a fun story is Grantsville last year going into the state tournament seeded number 1 got beat out. And the coach using that as a Good, like, learning lesson for his team this year.
That'll be inside, evens the count at 2 for Macy Hunt. Again, playing first base for Enterprise. 6-0 our score. We're in the bottom of the third. Beautiful day for softball. Temperature's perfect, 70 degrees.
And no sun.
And no sun. Here's a pop-up right to the infield, and the catcher gets called off. And Kelsey Grant says, I have this one. And so at the last minute, Moreland made the wise decision.
Yeah, collision there and a drop ball. That would have been a pretty costly error for Duchesne.
That'll bring up Hallie Christensen, playing center field. She's the 9 batter. Back to the top of the order after this one. Pitches strike 1, catches the outside corner. Here's the pitch, hit up and popped up in the infield. Took that high pitch, and this is the result. And that'll be out number 2.
Duchesne doing some good things and making some good plays. But last time there was a 2-out rally for Enterprise, so it doesn't really matter. You got to get the out before you can think you're out of the inning.
That'll bring up Kyla Humphreys, who plays second base, 1 for 2 with an RBI in this championship game. Here's the first pitch, down in the dirt, ball 1. Grantsville's been dominant in the 3A classification. Here's a shot. Wow, what a catch by the third base. And that'll be over for the out. So 1-2-3 for the Duchesne Eagles in the bottom of the third. We'll go into the top of the fourth with Enterprise leading 6-0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and a partnership with KSL Sports.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back. We head to the top of the fourth with Duchesne up, and it'll be batters 3, 4, 5 with Grant, Moreland, and Maurer. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be hit up the middle. Tried to stop by the shortstop, can't get it. That'll be another single for Kelsey Grant.
Grant, first pitch, just swings on it, knocks it in for a base hit. So knocks it out for a base hit. So getting things started off well for Duchesne.
Addie Nelson had to come clear from almost third base to get that one. Couldn't quite make the grab. Hit to the hole. So the leadoff batter on the base path with Moreland at the plate. Moreland 0 for 1. Here's the hit. Popped up to the infield. And that will be an out, number 1.
Moreland very frustrated. She saw it as soon as she swung on it.
Yep.
Kind of threw the bat down in frustration. Can't blame her.
No.
And because it's been interesting to see the at-bats for Duchesne just fly ball fest.
8 so far in the game. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike 1.
Nice inside placement.
Larissa Maurer, the left fielder for Duchesne. Pitches up, trying to catch the outside corner and misses. Strike, ball 1. 1-1 the count.
Well, here in the top of the fourth, Duchesne really it'd be helpful for them to tack on a few runs.
There's another base hit for Duchesne, so opportunities here with runners on first and second.
Nice little hit just right up the gap. Nobody could get to it, advances Grant to second.
So golden opportunity with Chesney Farnsworth at the plate playing second base for Duchesne.
Only 1 out for Duchesne. This could be a big opportunity with a base hit.
First pitch comes in, ball 1. 0 for 1 for Farnsworth. She flew out to center field last time. That one, same place, a little bit low, ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Those look hittable from up here, too, but you can see she doesn't even look like try to go at it.
And there's a shot down the left field line. That'll be a base hit. And the runner's held. So now the base is loaded for the Duchesne Eagles. Here's their opportunity. 3 straight singles for Duchesne.
Well, and there's the old analogy, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you get back into a softball game? One hit at a time. Hit, get your, advance your base runners around. So huge opportunity here for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, down 6-0. This is big. Can the Duchesne Eagles capitalize on the 3 singles by Grant, Maurer, and Farnsworth? This is Crum, Cadence, 0 for 1. Pitches inside. And she says that got my jersey, but she'll just have a ball, 1. Christiansen with the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. Strike 1.
Probably breathe the sigh of relief on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but last at bat, she flew to left field. Check swing foul. Strike 2. Kind of decided late on that one. 1-2 the count.
And, one thing, too, that we didn't see in the last game with Duchesne was aggressive base running.
Here's the pitch, and fouled off, 1-2, as Crum stays alive.
Well, you're down, 6-0 in the championship game. A pass ball, I would think you'd be sending Grant.
Yep, base is loaded. Pitch is in, going to be popped up. Nope, going to be a run over at first, and safe. So an infield single for the Duchesne Eagles. That's an RBI for Cadence Crum.
And with that RBI comes the first run of the game for Duchesne. So they get out of a sticky situation on that one. Base is still juiced. And now Amberly skews up to bat.
So after hitting 2 hits through 3 innings, now they have 4 hits in this inning alone. Skews 0 for 1. That ball hit on the handle, was just a short. That ball died on the infield, so it gave her just enough time to get down the base path. Ball 1 for Skews. Pitches inside. I wondered if it ticked her jersey going through.
She didn't say anything or look like she went to move, so.
Here's the pitch, and hit to the right side. Right fielder there, and there's a tag up, and that's an RBI sacrifice fly for Amberly Skews.
Maurer gets in on that hit. Base runners at first and second now, and I think we do. We have a different, no, we don't. Cammie Larson, number 19.
Playing third base. She flew to right field to her last at bat, and there's now 2 outs.
Your book is deceiving.
It can be.
Oh,
that's going to load the bases, hit by pitch. And Christiansen has been moving in, and we've had probably
the last 3 batters.
Ones, yeah. So with the hit by pitch, that will be a walk and load the bases again, as you mentioned.
I would not like to take a pitch from Christiansen or Grant.
No.
You could see, too, that Larson's getting some attention from her coach, because I'm sure that stung a little.
I'll bet it did. That leads us to the top of the order. Kara Grant, who is 1 for 2. She led the game off with a single. So Duchesne tacks on 2. Man, this is like yesterday's game.
It's like,
no, just
in
reverse.
Yeah, it's just the teams have traded roles.
No, seriously, we had, Duchesne quickly hopped on Enterprise, and then Enterprise just started chipping away in about the 2nd or 3rd inning, and then had a big run to take the win. And now it's the Duchesne Eagles 2 down, bases loaded. This is a huge at-bat for Kira Grant, the freshman.
Yeah, force out at any base. So in order to stay in the inning, Grant's going to need to have a pretty solid hit to the outfield on the ground or a home run.
Grant steps in. Here's the pitch for Grant. Outside, ball 1.
Saw a grand slam in the 3A semifinal game earlier today.
And there's a pop-up. The second base makes the play. That gets Enterprise out of a jam. And so that'll do it. Duchesne, they do get back in this game. 6-2 our score going into the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Yep. Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be 2-3-4 for the Enterprise Wolves. In the top of the 4th, the Duchesne Eagles had 2 runs on 4 hits with 3 runners left on. And so in the game, that's 5 runners left on for the Duchesne Eagles. And, more importantly, a little momentum for the defending state champs.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to, tack a couple of runs on. And it's the first 2 runs of the game for Duchesne to close that 6-0 gap, now only trailing by 4. But when your batter's 2-3-4 for Enterprise, Duchesne's got to be on their toes, ready to make some plays to keep Enterprise from getting in position to score or to score.
Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 1 for Drake. Drake 1 for 2 with a sacrifice and a single. 2 RBIs for Haley. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-2 Enterprise with the lead, up to bat. Ball 2-0. Grantsville up, I think, big over North St. Pete. I'll have Tavy see if she can pick up a score. There's a shot down outside left field, and that one's going to hit the fence. That will be a stand-up double for Haley Drake. That one had a chance.
It did, and Enterprise, wow, these girls are literally swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
That's the second one. We had a home run, and then another one that was kind of robbed there at the fence. So I think that's the 3rd hit, though, that was home run potential.
Yeah, right off the bat, that one was a shot. Now we've got Daisy Terry. She's 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. A little bit high. So Grantsville up 8-0 over North St. Pete. They look to be in a good position for the 3A championship. We'll keep you posted. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled off. So strike 2 for Terry. Terry playing left field for Enterprise. Again, runner on second is Drake. Ooh.
Oh, got her.
3. I wondered about that.
Wow.
That was one of those I was like, I didn't call that one very fast.
Caught her looking. So is that how many strikeouts has Grant had? Is that her first?
That is her second.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pitch, and going to be high, ball 1 for Addie Nelson. Nelson, of course, 2 for 2. She had the big home run.
I'm sure if the dynamite comes in little packages. Not a very big girl, but she can hit the ball.
Yep, Nelson, here we go. And that she'll take that one low, ball 2. 2-0 the count for Nelson. Addie Nelson, a junior. Out and up, ball 3. Hitters count for Nelson. The shortstop for the Enterprise Wolves. 6-2 our score. Runner in scoring position for Enterprise. 1 down. Pitch comes in, strike 1. 3-1 the count now on Nelson. Christiansen and Hess in the hole and on deck. Not respectively.
Next up, catcher number 13, Ivy Butler.
Pitch is going to be popped up and in the outfield. So not an infield fly. Center fielder comes back and will make the catch.
2 outs now with the base runner on second. And that brings up Christiansen. But her last at bat, she made something happen. She makes something happen. Anywhere she goes, Christiansen makes something happen.
Christiansen 1 for 2. She got on error first at bat, single her second. Here's a hit. Wow, that was a shot. It's going to be foul, but easily a home run for Christiansen. That one's easy out.
Jeez.
She turned on that one. 0-1 the count for Christiansen. That one's going to be a little bit shorter, and that will end the inning as she flies out to the third base. So an F4 for the third out of the inning. So no hits on 1 run with 1 player left on. We head to the top of the 5th with Enterprise leading 6-2.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care. Closer to home.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, the money man Tyler Moss, Claire Hilton, and Kelly Terry on your broadcast. It's the 2A state championship. We go to the top of the 5th with Enterprise leading 6-2, but the momentum in favor of the Duchesne Eagles, and they'll be batting 2, 3, 4. Farnsworth, Grant, and Moreland. Farnsworth 0 for 2, 2 pop-ups. Well, fly-outs, I should say. Strike inside corner for Farnsworth. 0-1.
Commented a lot about hitting the outside corner, but Christiansen trying to change it up. She's done a lot of inside pitches today.
Pitch is going to be hit over to second base, and that will be through the gap, and a leadoff single for Jaylee Farnsworth.
Nice solid swing, nice shot into right center. Gets on base, and now senior pitcher Kelsey Grant up to bat.
Yes, momentum continues. Grant now 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Fun fact, I said this yesterday, but Grant got walked every at-bat against San Juan the other day.
And there's going to be a throw down. That one's going to be out into center field. That will allow a rare mistake by the catcher Drake, and that will move the runner over to third base as the overthrow to second goes into the center field.
Well, and as the fielder ran to second, she slipped as well. Got her footing, but that was a pretty wild throw as well from Drake. Something you do not see very often, if ever.
Yeah, ball 1 for Kelsey Grant. Some golden opportunities for Duchesne. That one comes in low, ball, 2 balls. Two pitchers squaring off, Duchesne trying to chip at that lead. 6-2, golden opportunity with runner on third, no outs. Here's the pitch. That one's a strike.
Yeah, that looks good.
2-1. Ball high, 3-1. The count to Grant. Hitter's count coming. There comes a ball in from the other side, other field, I think. Six-2, runner on third. We're in the top of the fifth. 3-1 the count, and that's going to be hit into right field and will be an out.
Can she outrun it?
Yep, outruns it. That's an RBI for Kelsey Grant. 6-3 our score.
And it's unfortunate that Grant did not get on base, but with that RBI knocking in her sister, what was once a 6-0 lead is now a 3-run lead. So Duchesne clawing their way back.
That'll bring up Lexi Moreland, who's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Flew out to the pitcher and then to the left fielder. Pitch is up in the dirt, ball one. Duchesne just sneaking back in this. It looked like it was all Enterprise, and now here comes the Eagles.
Ooh. Did she go on it? Yep, they said she did.
They said she did. So strike one and ball one.
Sounds like Finding Nemo out there. One of the fans are moin, moin, moin.
Yeah. There's a pitch hit up to third base. Beautiful dig and out by the Enterprise Wolves. Wow, that was tough.
Third baseman Brooke Humphreys. She just stands there and takes a hard ground ball, and then she throws it over the diamond to get out number two.
If you watch that, it came out of the glove, and she was able to hand the ball while in motion. So see if you can see that on the replay. Here's the 2-out pitch. Strike one to Maurer.
Unfortunately, on the replay, you couldn't see the...
Yeah, couldn't you?
No, the pole was in the way.
No. There's a hit on the handle. That's going to be a base hit and more, probably a double.
Ooh, she's going to have to hustle.
Yep, stand-up double for Maurer.
Wow.
The momentum continues for the Duchesne Eagles.
Chesney Farnsworth now up to bat for Duchesne. She was a strikeout? No, she got on. Oh, she did strike out her first at bat. Got on her second on a single.
So 1 for 2. Pitch is going to be off the handle and kind of an easy play, and that'll get Enterprise out of the inning. But one more run for Duchesne as they close the gap 6-3 as we go to the bottom of the fifth on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
So in the top of the fifth inning, it was the the Duchesne Eagles adding one more run to close the gap to 6-3, and they did so with 1 run on 2 hits, with 1 player left on, 1 error. That was a throwing error for the Enterprise Wolves. So 6-3 our score. Enterprise will be batting batters number 6, 7, 8, Hess, Humphreys, and Hunt as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Grantsville still has the 3A championship in hand so far as they go into the 5th inning. We'll get Tavy to just see if the score remains 8-0.
Over in the 2A
10-0.
boys championship, it's 0-0 Kanab and South Sevier.
Just underway. Stepping up to the plate, as I mentioned, is Hess. Hess 1 for 2. Excuse me, 0 for 1 with a walk.
Beautiful
Strike
pitch
one.
by Grant.
After giving up 5 hits in the second inning alone, Grant has only allowed 1 hit. That one by Haley Drake last inning. 0-1 the count here to Hess. It's going to be over on the left side. Fair ball.
Whoa!
And out.
Oh, they got her.
How about the first base keeping the toe on the bag?
Wow. Nice. I mean, it really just a great snag out of the air. Crum fielding it and then, throwing over to get the out.
That'll bring up Brooke Humphreys. 1 for 2 with a double in the second inning. Humphreys on third base. She had the great play in the top of the inning. Humphreys steps in. There's a hit. That's going to be a base hit to right field.
Stand up double. Nope, she's going to hold
Just
up.
a single, just because that right field. So a single for Brooke Humphreys. She's now 2 for 3. Then we got Macy Hunt, 1 for 2. She had a single also in the second inning to right center. So do you think they advance slowly? What do you think?
Oh, heavens no, it's a championship game. You pour it on if you can. Is that what you're saying?
Do you do small ball and try to just advance the runner? There's a fouled off, strike one.
Well, actually, if you think about it, now that you mention it, that's exactly what Enterprise did yesterday. When they were struggling so much, they went to small ball, and it was just bunt, 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 and they were able to get on and advance, and so maybe so.
0-1 the count. That was a bunt attempt for Macy Hunt. She'll turn in square again, as is her pattern. Now she steps back, bunts again. That's strike 2.
Now she's going to have to swing away now, so
0-2 the count. Runner on first, 1 down. 6-3 our score. Enterprise with the lead and up to the plate. Here's the pitch and high. Ball 1.
Moreland dropped the ball, but it was right in front of her, so she keeps Humphreys on first.
Yep, 1-2 the count. A lot of respect for the catchers in this game. Hunt will fake bunt and then pull back. Ball 2. The count's even. 2-all. Christensen, Humphreys, and Drake up next. 2-2 the count. Runner on first. Hunt will call timeout, step back in, reset. Grant ready in the circle. Here's the pitch. Now it's going to get her. Strike 3. She knew it too as she let that hit that outside corner. Beautiful pitch by Kelsey Grant.
Yeah, she was ready and able to get her catcher watching.
Yep, third strikeout of the game for Kelsey Grant. That'll bring up Hallie Christensen, who is 0 for 2. Got on an error and flew out to the shortstop.
2 outs, base runner on for Enterprise.
Pitch is outside, catches the corner, strike 1. Pitch is in, outside, ball 1-1. 2 down, 1-1 the count, runner on first. 6-3. Enterprise trying to add to their 3-run lead. There's a foul ball on the left side. Strike 2. 1-2 the count to Hallie Christensen.
Barely caught the end of her bat to go foul.
So the count remains 1-2 for center fielder Hallie Christensen. Pitch is outside and low. So full, that evens the count rather on two balls, 2 strikes.
Moreland again dropped the ball, but able to keep it in front of her, so keeping Humphreys still on first base.
Pitch is up, and it's going to be a base hit. if not more. That'll put runners on the corners for the Enterprise Wolves. A clutch hit by Hallie Christensen.
Solid hit into right center. And Enterprise has really hit a lot of balls into right center and right field.
They have.
Capitalizing on those hits and getting on the bases.
That'll bring up Kyla Humphreys. She hit a single, had an RBI sacrifice fly in the second inning, and then in the third inning, ground out to third base. Runners on the corners. We'll see if Enterprise pushes it and steals base. Coach Grant calls the defense. There's the pitch. It's going to be hit right up the middle. Grant fields it, should get him out of the inning, and it does. Duchesne dodges a bullet. So the Enterprise Wolves, no runs on 2 hits, 2 players left on. When we come back, it'll be the top of the 6th for the Duchesne Eagles on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports.
This is how legends 2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. And we're in the top of the 6th. It's a close one. 6-3 in this 2A state championship matchup between Duchesne and Enterprise. Enterprise with a 6-0 lead, but Duchesne's been chipping away at the lead. They're now down by 3 runs, and that'll bring up batters 7, 8, 9. And we'll start with Cadence Crum, the third base. Here's the pitch and a hit. That could be a base hit. Nope. Shades foul.
Enterprise had a huge second inning where they scored 5 runs. Haven't scored in any runs since then, but it doesn't matter. That second inning was huge for Enterprise.
Stepping back in is Crum. And fouled off. 0-2 the count. Advantage Christiansen for Enterprise. Still no score yet in the 2A championship baseball.
That might change right here. Oh, nope, they're walking off. Never mind.
There's a hit to the right side. Second base over for the grab.
Christiansen got her on the changeup as she thought it was coming in hot. Had to hold up for just a second. So nice pitch by Christiansen.
That'll bring up the designated player, Amberly Skews. 0-2 with an RBI. She had a sacrifice fly in that 4th inning. Pitches in, catches the corner, strike 1.
Christiansen's been dialed in on those inside pitches, and she's done a very good job getting, and those are hard to hit, jamming up the batters, just not the pitch you want to swing at.
Fouled off, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Good battle with Skews and Christiansen. 8 hits for the Eagles, 10 for the Wolves. Fouled off. That's your fourth strike of this at bat. No balls.
She's doing a very good job protecting. It's almost essential that you get, almost every at bat get a runner on at this point for Duchesne.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's high. Skews doesn't even flinch. 1-2. Every once in a while you'll get somebody who'll swing at one of those.
I held my breath.
Yeah. And here's a pop-up on the right side. Second base over, and another grab.
Enterprise is starting to feel it. They can taste victory. 1 out away from going into the bottom of the 6th with that 3-run lead. And let's see if for Duchesne, if Larson can get something going.
So momentum is kind of chilled. It was all Duchesne. Now it's kind of now I think it's up for grabs.
Yeah, it's
the way the game feels.
It's Switzerland.
This is B. Larson.
Got it
Larson's
again.
first pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Larson 0 for 1 with a walk. She was hit by a pitch last at bat.
Oh my gosh.
Well, guess what?
Same plays too. It's not funny. I'm not laughing at her, but it's just like, what are the odds?
Did I say it, then it happens?
Yeah, and her 2 consecutive at-bats gets hit in the same place. And again, I wouldn't want to take a pitch from Chris Jansen.
So that's 2 times on the base path for Cammie Larson, and that will bring up Kara Grant, who is 1 for 3 with a single in the first inning.
I actually think it hit that one. I think hit her in the arm.
Hit her in the shoulder, I think upper arm.
Yeah, she's looking at her by her bicep. The one before that hit her in the back.
Yeah. Definitely not on purpose.
Oh no, no malice or intention there.
No.
Because you don't want to get a runner on the base if you're Enterprise.
Here's the freshman, Kira Grant. Pitches in, hit up, popped up. That one's trouble, and Enterprise makes the grab.
Wow.
How about the range for the second base player, Chesney Farnsworth? No, rather Kyla Humphreys. Yeah, she comes clear over from second base to catch that at the fence for the 3rd out of the inning.
That was a fantastic play by Kyla Humphreys, and you had right field, you had first base and second base. She just comes over, snags it out. What a way to end the top of the 6th by Enterprise.
All right, we'll come up bottom of 6 after this on TeamHive.live.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, bottom of 6. So a great play by the Enterprise Wolves for the Eagles in that top of the 6th. There was no runs, no hits, 1 player left on. So for the Eagles, that's 7 players left on base in the game. They had 3 in 1 inning.
Ouch. That's hard. And I think both times they had runners. Did they have runners on third?
No.
No?
No, that one was on first.
Oh.
So here we go. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, you've got 2, 3, 4 for Enterprise, Drake, Terry, and Nelson. It's interesting because both teams in the same spot. In the bottom of the 6th, it's going to be 2, 3, 4. In the top of the 7th, it will be 2, 3, 4. So meat of the lineup for these 2 teams coming up. We'll start with Haley Drake. She's 2 for 3. And with a double, a single, and then a sacrifice as she advanced the runners in the first inning. So 2 for 3. Here comes a pitch to Haley Drake from Grant. Duchesne trying to force an extra game, and that one comes back. Strike 1. Trying to make sure she doesn't hit our cameras. In the second inning, there's no score yet between Kanab and South Sevier. That ought to be a good game. South Sevier has to come back. The number 1 seed has to beat Kanab twice. Here's the pitch, and caught the corner. Wow. What a pitch, seriously.
Yeah,
Enterprise boos,
yeah.
but that came across pretty nicely.
Well, and back to baseball, Kanab, the number 6 seed, knocked off number 1 seed South Sevier in the semifinals, I think.
Pitch is outside, so 1 and 2 the count for Haley Drake. So Grantsville finishes out the championship run in the 3A classification. 10-run game. Here's a pop-up for Drake. It's up and makes the grab, does Moreland.
Both Moreland got underneath it really quickly, had Grant there, I guess, for moral support.
Yeah.
Gets first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Daisy Terry now up for the Enterprise Wolves. She is 0 for 3. Did get on a fielder's choice in the second inning.
Congratulations to both teams on their success this season.
She's due. There's a hit on the left side, foul. Strike 1.
Ten runs on 10 hits.
Wow.
Just listening to Matt Robinson.
Yeah, Grantsville dominant. Outside, 1-1 the count for Terry. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Duchesne trying to get back. They're down by 3 runs to the Enterprise Wolves. Enterprise up to bat, though, trying to add to their lead. And there's a base hit straight up the line.
Stand-up double, I think, as she's going to, yep.
Not a stand-up, but she does get a double.
Get it.
So she's excited. That's Terry's first hit of the ball game. And the leading runner on board for the Enterprise Wolves, which will bring up Addie Nilsson, who has a single, a home run, and a fly out to center field.
Again, you can start to feel the excitement for Enterprise.
So
1 out.
2 for 3 for Nelson. Let's see what she can do with a runner in scoring position. Pitches up, fouled off into the other field. Strike 1.
This would be a perfect day for 2 games, too. There's no heat.
No, it's beautiful.
I mean, this is like perfect weather to
It's
play
usually
in.
either rain or we're sweating, so this is good. There's the pitch, inside. Caught the corner. Strike 2.
Enterprise not like that.
No, no. I didn't say anything. I just said strike 2. 0-2. Here's the pitch, and swung on, popped up. That one might be in play, and it is not.
Second baseman tried to get over there for Duchesne.
Yep.
Chesney Farnsworth, much like the third out we saw with Enterprise, but she just wasn't able to catch the ball.
We were screened by the shade, so we have no idea what happened other than they said she was safe. So just a strike. 0-2. Beautiful venue. They do have trees, which are nice on hot days. Not good for announcers. Here's a hit straight up. There's a base hit into right field. Coming around, and that will score a run. That is an RBI single for Addie Nilsson.
Last 2 batters for Enterprise. One right up the third baseline, next one right up the first baseline. And those are really, really hard to defend and get and relay in. So nice hitting by Enterprise.
Well, an important run. That's kind of a safety protect run, as that moves the lead back to 4. So Duchesne has to score at least 4 in the top of the 7th to stay alive. Here's Christiansen. She swings, pops one up, and out of play. Wow, right into the student section.
Crum and Moreland.
That's the baseball team. They should be able to catch it. And someone puts their arm up like they did, but they did not. It was an error on the Duchesne Eagle player. So we're going to get some new softballs on the field. And stepping back in is Christiansen. Christiansen is 1 for 3. Got on an error in the first inning, flew out to second base, and a single in the second. Here's a pitch inside. Ball 1. 7-3 our score. We're in the bottom of 6. If Enterprise wins, they are our 2A state champion for 2023. Takes the title away from the Duchesne Eagles. Duchesne trying to repeat. That's a fly ball caught for the out. Second base.
Still 1 run notched for Enterprise in this inning. 2 outs for Duchesne. One runner on. Duchesne really needs to get out of this inning with no more runners to score.
Correct. So that's 7 fly balls for the Enterprise Wolves.
That they've hit up?
Yeah.
How many for Duchesne?
11.
Wow.
I mean, and that really speaks to the quality of pitching, because they get the players to pop up. 0-1 the count to Becca Hess. She is 0 for 2 with a walk. Hess will take strike. Go, ball 1. I was just thinking it was a strike, but it was a ball.
Strike that was not. I can't remember what you said the other day, but that was funny. Strike that could have been, or something.
Yeah, strike that could have been. And there's a hit on the left side. That's going to be a base hit for Hess, and that'll advance the runner to second. So Becca Hess
Enterprise burning up the baselines, hitting right down the third baseline and the first baseline. That one goes out of reach of both Crum and Grant.
Already 3 hits in the inning for the Enterprise Wolves. And we're in the 6th inning. That is when Enterprise did their damage yesterday as well.
Well, Brooke Humphreys stepped up and hit a home run yesterday.
She's 2 for 3. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Kind of a delayed swing. 2 for 3, double and a single, flew out to center field. She's hit heavy all afternoon long. Runners on first and second. 2 down. Duchesne needs to get out of this to the top of the 7th where they will need to score 4 runs. Grant pops up, gets a pop up. That second base back for the grab, and that'll do it. So 3 pop-ups in that one make it for the 3rd out. And we go to the top of the 7th. It'll come down to this for the Duchesne Eagles. They must score 4 to stay alive in the 2A State Championship here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
It all comes down to this. We're in the top of the 7th. And Duchesne will have to score 4 runs. And if I'm Duchesne, I like where I sit with Farnsworth, Grant, and Moreland. 2, 3, 4 up to the plate. Here's a hit, and going to be out number 1, though, to the Enterprise Wolves. That's a pop-up, number 12, I believe. 1 out.
That's been the name of the game for Duchesne all game long, just popping them up. And unfortunate for Duchesne, their leadoff batter flies out to the shortstop.
Kelsey Grant now up for Duchesne. Grant is 2 for 2 with just 1 RBI. She had a sacrifice fly at her last at bat, so 2 for 3. And that is ball 1.
Grant, the reigning MVP in 2A last year.
Outstanding player.
I guess they call it player of the year, but
1-1, yep.
She was the player of the year last year.
For 2A.
And she has had a phenomenal softball career at Duchesne High School.
Here's the pitch, and does it come across? Just misses, ball 2.
What a changeup by Christiansen.
Grant just watched it.
Didn't fall for it. Wow.
Ball low, so a hitter's count for Kelsey Grant, 3-1. Christiansen will have to come to Grant. Again, Duchesne has to score 4 to stay alive, 5 to take the lead. Here's the pitch to Grant, and she'll drive it into left field. First runner, just out. And so that was outside the shade for us, so we couldn't see. So that's not like I'm saying, oh, that was bad. We couldn't see it.
No,
it looked fair.
It did. I thought it was fair.
Till it wasn't.
Told us it wasn't.
That's right.
So full count now for Grant.
Can I say I thought the officiating has been fantastic in this tournament? It's been great.
I concur.
Full count. Fouls off, stays alive. Duchesne desperate for some base runners. 1 down. We're in the top of 7. This is it, unless Duchesne scores 4 runs. Enterprise faithful all on their feet, watching and cheering their Wolves. Pitches in and hit. Shortstop with a play. That is the second pop-up to the shortstop. That's Addie Nelson. That's out number 2. The Enterprise Wolves 1 away from their 3rd 2A state championship.
That brings up Lexi Moreland, the catcher for Duchesne.
Yep, Moreland 0 for 3 on the afternoon.
So Moreland,
she's due.
She is due.
Yeah. Moreland takes a big breath. Will step in. 2 down, 7-3. Here's the pitch. Swung on and caught. The Enterprise Wolves are your 2A state champions for 2023. And they do so in dramatic fashion, winning 7-3. And they close out the championship game. We'll let you watch this online as they are all piling on right at home plate. And so the Enterprise Wolves, your 2A state champions.
You know, and yesterday we talked about just the quality of these two teams and how well they both play with each other. And Enterprise, though, you know, coming back from behind yesterday in the semifinal game to get the 1-run win. And then today in the championship game, it was all Enterprise the entire game long. They jumped out to a 1-run lead and then tacked on 5 more. Duchesne just couldn't recover and
couldn't catch up.
Enterprise winning the state championship in dominant fashion in 2023.
As we watch the celebration for the Enterprise Wolves, let's take a look at some of the final game stats. 13 hits for the Enterprise Wolves, and they score 7 runs on Grant, who has an ERA that's unbelievably 1.5. So the Enterprise Wolves doing some damage from the plate. 8 hits for the Duchesne Eagles. 7 people left on base for Duchesne, and only 3 for Enterprise. 2 errors for the Wolves, for the Eagles, and 1 for the Enterprise Wolves. That's that one, a throwing error. And so, you know, what a great job by the Enterprise Wolves. They steal the title back from Duchesne, and Duchesne should be very proud of themselves. They are a small school, and the dominance that they have been able to provide is simply amazing.
It is, and both squads only losing 3 seniors. I think the big change the big difference you're gonna see is Duchesne loses Grant and Moreland. Enterprise does lose Drake, but they bring back Chris Jansen. So I would imagine, though, that Duchesne's still going to be in the running to be one of the top 2A softball teams next year.
For sure. Now here comes out the trophy. First of all, the second place trophy for the Duchesne Eagles. This group of seniors and juniors have accounted for a championship and now a silver trophy. I'm sure a lot of teams would trade places with the Duchesne Eagles, even though they are not happy with anything but that gold tournament trophy. And Enterprise accepts the gold trophy from Jan from the USHAA. And that's the 3rd state championship for the Enterprise Wolves in softball.
And congratulations to Enterprise. Really, just a solid tournament for them. They started off the tournament by beating Parowan, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Duchesne again. So Enterprise in dominant fashion and doing a fantastic job to be the 2A state champions.
So softball's over for the 2 classifications. The 3A champion, Grantsville, with a 10-run win. And for the Enterprise Wolves, they are the champions as well. So Grantsville and Enterprise, your 2A and 3A state champions. And we've had a lot of fun here on TeamHive.live covering this tournament. A big thanks to all of those who made it possible, including Barrett Hilton and the gang, as well as the announcers, Pepper Gale, Matt Robinson, Lachelle Moss, and Dennis Aldridge.
And Scott
Langford. Which is me. Unless you didn't like it. And then I'm the money man, Tyler Moss. So you can pick. And big thanks to all of those who manned the cameras. Too many to mention, so I won't. But big thanks to Centricom and TeamHive.live for providing a lot of the equipment and know-how to bring the stream. If you go back and watch this, I think this is the best put-on tournament in the state for softball or baseball. Just it's a great job by this crew. A big thanks to the USHAA, who are always great hosts and good friends. And a big thanks. So once again, congratulations to the Enterprise Wolves, 2A state champions, as they take a 7-3 win against the Duchesne Eagles. For Pepper Gale, I'm Scott Langford. Have a great afternoon.